All right, you've got an old schoolhouse. Don't tear it down. Why not make it into a distillery? Yeah, wait till you see this in Kelso, Tennessee. Casey Orr has the story.
It may seem a stretch to go from career dental hygienist to one of the finest rum makers in the world, but that's pretty much Phil Pritchard's resume. Boredom with his dental job led him to tinkering in the kitchen.
One day in 1993, my wife came home and there's my canning pot, her canning pot sitting on the stove, and this little white dog alcohol coming off in the kitchen sink. And she says, "What are you doing?" And I says, "Honey, I'm making rum. Here, have a taste."
And the passion never went away. But it wasn't until a 40th high school reunion a few years later that the passion turned into a profession. An old classmate from Memphis was in the wholesale liquor business. He asked Phil to send him a sample, and that was all it took.
3 weeks later, he called me back and he said, "Phil, I've got two questions. When are you going in business, and what's this going to cost me?"
Now, the homemade moonshine he used to make in his kitchen sink is considered one of the best rums in the world. Selling in 44 states and 8 European countries, his flavored rum's a favorite at area restaurants.
You'd be surprised at the cocktails they can concoct from our flavored rums. One such establishment in Nashville makes a Pritchards Cranberry Rum Madras Mojito. And that goes all the way across their menu.
While there's no rushing things here at Pritchard's, he has developed a unique way to age his products in a fraction of the time it would normally take. In most cases, 3 to 5 years. But his double-barrel bourbon uses charred oak barrels and a lot of time to make a taste worth waiting for.
Trees are in the business of making sugar. When you char the inside of a barrel, you're in fact caramelizing those sugars, very much like you would making a caramel icing for a dessert at home or what have you. That when you put that first, what we refer to as white dog or unaged whiskey into that barrel, the most soluble element in that barrel is in fact the sugars.
Those sugars then work their magic for 9 or 10 years until Pritchard's crew puts them in yet another char oak barrel and starts the process all over again. Pritchard also uses a sweeter molasses than most other rums, making their product more like the rum makers in colonial America.
It really made a rum that Thomas Jefferson referred to as the poor man's brandy. And we like to think that our rum that we make here in Tennessee is very much like those old New England rums.
His inventory is selective, and the handful of rums and whiskeys he creates carry their own story, from his Lincoln County Lightning to the Tennessee Whiskey. Each spirit brings with it a memory, none more than his bestseller
that we call Sweet Lucy,
an orange apricot bourbon liqueur that gets its name from Pritchard's Memphis roots, going duck hunting.
And the ducks fly over and boom, boom, you shoot the ducks down, you send the dogs out. And after the hunt, you kind of reach into your jacket and you get a little hit. Sweet Lucy, that's where the name came from. It's Sweet Lucy, the name is actually an exclamation of joy.
For more information on Pritchard's Distillery, go to pritchardsdistillery.com. Up next, we'll show you the Hart Gallery and the fine work they do with the homeless and other non-traditional artists. You're going to love this place in Chattanooga. We'll be right back.